Hi everybody, welcome to another video. Struggling, but I still want to get out for a walk. It's bluebell season. I want to see how the woods are doing. It's been a couple of weeks since I did part 1. If this goes out, it'll be part 2, and probably the last one. But a few days ago, sensitivity in my spine ramped up, and then the following day I could barely move for pain. Staying still makes it worse to get going again, so I'm trying to do as much movement as I can, but today I'm having real bad spasms in the lower part of my spine, but it's resonating through my nerves up through to my head, down through my legs, etc. So just going to pace myself, go a lot slower, and we're going to go into Bluebell Wood, and with these new extreme limitations we're going to see what we can capture. Okay, so just into the first bit of the wood, and this is the bit that tends to bloom earlier than other areas of the wood, and we've got a nice blue carpet, which means compared to the images in part 1, hopefully we can get sort of nice blue and green bokeh in the background, or effects in the background. What's also nice is that the light is flat, the clouds come over, so there's very flat light, which should make it easier to focus on the flowers and get some nice images rather than harsh shadows and highlights. So yeah, I'm going to gingerly get my kit ready. I'm going to use my 75 to 300mm lens and see what we can capture. I'm not sure if it's coming through on video, but I'll do some pans of the woods as we go through and just see what's what. Okay, so here we are with the setup. My 40D's got the 75 to 300mm lens on it, mainly at 300. Might be a bit shorter focal length. Using a tripod for steadiness because I'm far from steady. So a quick look at the settings. So I'm shooting at f8 today. There is a bit of a breeze with gusts of about 25 to 30 miles an hour. So f8, because f11's not giving me a fast enough shutter speed, but it's still giving me enough of detail in the flowers. ISO is at 800, again for increasing the speed, and at the minute I've got a shutter speed of 180, which at 300 is why I'm using the 300mm focal length is why I'm using the tripod, etc. So as long as the wind's not blowing too harshly through the bluebells, the images are coming out sharp. And it's a case of practice and see, and also within the limits of what my spine and head can cope with at the moment. Getting down this low is best for the shots, but not necessarily for me. So yeah, pace myself, enjoy it. The smell is amazing, and let's see what else we can get. So I've come to a spot where the roll of the path going down the hill means that I can get lower without causing too much pain in my neck and back, so I can get more of an eye level. Unfortunately I haven't got video in my camera, so I can't zoom in and show you what I'm seeing. I can try and zoom in a little bit on here so that I'm sort of, there you go, so kind of at this sort of level here, which is quite a nice height for me because I'm having to focus through the viewfinder rather than using the live view, just so I can pick the flowers that I'm focusing on and the composition, see that a bit more clearly even. Brain fog is I am really struggling today, but that's all part of fibro. But being out here in nature, as I've said on other videos, is so relaxing. Just about pacing myself, enjoying the view, getting a few shots. It's quality over quantity, and sharing those with you guys so that you can see what I get up to, or try and get up to, as part of my fibro life. So, as you probably guessed, I'm walking with a stick. I have no choice if I want to be mobile, outdoors anyway. And every step is having to be so carefully placed to avoid putting my back into spasm. I've had about 4 or 5 spasms. I had a couple while I was walking. It was similar to incident I had a couple of weeks ago that's made me go to the doctors, where my legs gave way as I was just doing a gentle walk to the barber's. Maybe that was a precursor to this, I don't know, because last week, as this video is being filmed last week, be a few weeks ago when you see it, but we went to see my parents in Norfolk, and went to spend a day in Cromer, and I could feel my backpack, as I can now, so sharply against my spine. Thank you. Morning. So yeah, my steps, the gate distance between my steps is very small, but I don't care what people think. You still need to get out and about, and actually it's doing me much more good being out and about than sitting on the sofa in pain, seizing up. I could be watching all the other guys on YouTube, but I'll do that later when my fatigue really kicks in. But this is so nice, being out here. Come out every year, photograph it. All the images might look a bit the same, but it's still nice to do, and it's nice to share with people that we've got this on our doorstep. Anyway, let's keep wandering and see what we can get. Okay, there is one shot I'm going to try. I'm not sure how successful I'll be with my limitations in my movement, but it is going to mean changing my lens. I have in my bag, I don't know why because it's heavy, but it's for this shot because I was hoping it would be lined up with some bluebells at the base of a tree, is to try and get a shot low down looking up at this tree with this trunk, the detail in it, etc. So I'm just going to gingerly make my way there, try to make sure I don't throw my back into spasm, change my lens, and I'll show you what I'm doing. Okay, so I've switched my lens over. This is my Rokinon Samyang fisheye lens, 8mm fisheye lens. Great for creativity, but I'm going to try it a bit more in the woodlands. It needs to be used manually with everything apart from the ISO. So I've got it set to infinity, and I'm setting it to f11. See how much of the landscape we can get in, but it will give a nice feel and effect to the trees bending, etc. I'm going to see what we can capture, so I'm going to flip the camera around and show you what I'm aiming to do. Okay, so what I'm going to aim to do, I want to try, I'm not sure how well they're coming out on the video, but I want to try and get, this is wide angle on my phone, I want to try and see if I can get some bluebells, etc. in the shot with this tree there. It'll give a different effect because it gives that curvature to the trees with the fisheye effect, but I'm going to see what if I can find an angle. I'm also going to try to do it on the tripod because I'm so unsteady today with the back and neck pain and the symptoms, so see how low I can get. Not very low unfortunately because my tripod is a cheaper model. It has these supports that stops the legs going too wide. So let's see what we can do, and if I get anything I'll share it on the screen. Okay, so this is the view on the phone through the live view of what the lens is seeing. The only challenge is whether the highlights are going to blow out in the top. So what I might do, I might experiment with a blending two exposures so that we get the detail in the foreground, so that we keep these plenty of detail in the leaves and the flowers, and maybe rather than try and darken it in processing, I might have to do an exposure for the sky. Although there's not a lot of detail in it, I just don't want to blow out the tops of the trees. So this is one of my favourite spots to try and capture. Still got the fisheye lens on. I thought I might try it with that, but we've got this path that meanders down. I'm actually going downhill, which is risky with my spine the way it is today, so we've got the path going through here. We've got some nice older trees further around the corner here, just coming out into foliage, and trying to get these two trees here. Not sure if it will come off, but I think I've got some images with the fisheye lens previously. If I had, I'll have shown them to you on the screen that I'm happy with. It's a case of trial and error with the lens really, because it's manual and just trying to work out how much light is coming in, etc. You can't really use the readings on the camera apart from the numbers. You can't use the dials because you just got to use your know-how to know whether you're over or under exposing and give it a go, which is the joy of digital. So I'm going to see what I can capture here, and any images I get I'll show you on the screen, because I think it's nice to mix it up, try and do something different. I've got the fisheye lens, so why not? Everybody else is going to be getting close-ups, etc. And I've done a fair few of those. There's only so many you can do. Try and mix it up a little bit and see what we can get in this last little bit of the walk for the rest of the video. So here's an example of what I was talking about with the exposure, etc. So I've got my ISO set at 200, manually set my f11 and infinity focus for depth of field, and a shutter speed of 1/40th. Now let me show you what the final image looks like. So it really is a case of trying to work out the best settings. Now I'm not doing double exposures that I thought I would do. I'm finding that although I've done this on the tripod, a lot of the images I took earlier, to get the angle I wanted, I needed to do handheld. So I'll have to just see what I can do with the highlights, etc. once I'm in processing. I hope that they're not blown out too much or overdo it in processing. They might look alright as they are, but we'll see once we put the images on the screen. Right, I think there's a shot here somewhere, somehow. I'm going to have to play with composition and see, but I'd like to get those leaves in, etc. and the path with the wide angle lens. Now the thing with the fisheye is I can get right on top of things and they can still be in the shot with some foreground, excuse me. So I'm going to get a bit closer and let's see what we can make of it. Oh, time for a rest and a sit before I contemplate getting my back and legs to get me home. Normally about 15 minutes, but I've got to go a lot slower today. I think actually it's getting busier in the woods. Bluebells are out early. It's only Easter, it's Good Friday, yeah, people are coming out for their walks because they're not at work, school, etc. So it's getting a bit busier, and I'm still, well, I am very self-conscious of videoing myself when there are other people watching or walking past. But I think today, actually, you can do pretty much all the same sort of shots when you've got a standard lens on or a zoom lens on. But I think putting this fisheye lens on the camera has actually helped me sort of look at things a bit differently and just try and do more sort of wider woodland shots. With the bluebells, hopefully, a little bit in focus, if not completely. But I won't be able to tell with my eyes, etc. until I get them onto my laptop screen and have a look a bit more. But I think there's some shots there. If there are, you'll have seen them. So yeah, time for a rest, go home, have some lunch. It's tempting to have a nap, but I know that would be much more painful waking up and trying to get moving afterwards, so I've got to try and suss out what the rest of my day is going to be. But I hope this finds you all well, and thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you could please, and that will help spread the word, and I'll see you in the next video.